Hi everybody, today I'm here to talk about The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. This is a super fancy binding that is supposed to imitate one of the original bindings of the book or something like that, and because it was a novel that was published in magazines kind of over the course of time, if I remember correctly. But yes, this is The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. Like I said, super fancy version. I have read this book before, but it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I totally forgot everything. I remember that I really liked it, and that was about it. Other than that, I started reading it, and I was like, did I read a shortened version? Because I don't remember all of this, but once I got to the end, I was like, no, I feel like there couldn't be a shortened version because every part of the story obviously adds to the story and the mystery and the intrigue. So basically what The Moonstone is about a diamond that was stolen from India by the British, big shock, and it is a cursed diamond, and people that have it tend to die or horrible things happen to them. And then one girl gets it for her birthday, and that night after her party, it goes missing. When she wakes up in the morning, it's just completely gone. So it is about the story of trying to figure out what happened to the diamond and obviously who stole it. So it's a mystery. And it was super good. It is told through different people's perspectives kind of as the story progresses. So first it's like the head butler of the house, Betteridge, and he tells up until the part that, well, I won't say, but he tells up into a certain part, and then as the story moves on with time, other people tell their parts of the story until it comes back around to the end. It was totally fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I feel like Wilkie Collins is very good at writing distinct voices, so each part did actually feel like a separate person, and some of them, like, I love Betteridge. I think he's hilarious. I think he's funny. I really enjoyed reading his. The second part was written by this Miss Clack woman who is a hyper Christian, I would say. She's always trying to hand out pamphlets and think that these pamphlets, and if people read them, it'll solve all of her problems. And it's supposed to be comic, and like it kind of was just by how absurd she was, but she was also so annoying. So I was like, stop handing out your religious pamphlets. It's not helping these people, you know what I mean? And so I thought that was really well done, that he was able to craft a story with different people's perspectives and have them be so distinct that I could really love some of them and other ones were driving me absolutely insane. And I really enjoyed it. I'm going to say obviously it is kind of racist towards Indians because it's a British dude writing in the 1800s. So there is a bit of that. It was interesting though because I did read about the writing of the Moonstone, and he did try and like interview people that had been to India and stuff, but once again, it's kind of from the British perspective because he wanted to, quote, portray it correctly. And so I can understand that, and I do give him props for that instead of just making crap up. Like, he actually did some research. But, you know, it's still, the Indians are trying to murder people to get their diamond back, which honestly I was like, murder, maybe not, because these weren't the people that originally stole the diamond, it just came into their possession. But also, yeah, you should have your diamond back. So I'm not going to say what happens with that in that perspective, or in that perspective. In that respect, I won't say what happens with that. But it was really entertaining and a really good read. I don't remember when it was published. For some reason I want to say 1866, but I feel like that might be a lie. So definitely by 1868 it was published. But yeah, so it's kind of mid-60s book, very entertaining. Wilkie Collins, if you don't know, he's like a contemporary of Charles Dickens. If you have read the book Drood by Dan Simmons or Simons, he is the main character in that book, and I also really like that book, and I have it on my bookshelf to read again because it's been years, and we'll see if I still like it. Yeah, so go read The Moonstone. It's a very good mystery. Like I said, each person was distinct and different, and I did feel really sorry for some people in the novel, and other ones I was like, nope, I'm okay. Like, that's a nope for me. You're a piece of crap, you know? So it was really well written, really fun, obvious prejudice from the 1800s against Indians from Britain, but still overall a well-crafted novel. And I think too, like, even though there was that prejudice at the end, like, I'm not going to say what happens, but I feel like he had some respect for them as well, and it was very interesting to see that. So I would definitely suggest The Moonstone. It is a long book. It took me a while. Like I said, when I was reading, I was like, did I read a shortened version of this? I'm not sure. I have no idea. And so it took me a while to get through it. But once I got like halfway through, I was like, wait, now I really have to get to the end because I don't remember what happened and I don't remember who it is. And it's definitely worth a read. So go check out The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. And today's question, do I think people should give back stolen items? Yeah. I think if the country can take care of them, like if the country's in a civil war and museums are being bombed, probably they shouldn't be returning items to them at this point in time, in my opinion. That's just because I want the items to be preserved, though. But, you know, if a country is stable enough and has nice museums and places that they could properly care for items, I do think that people should be giving them back. And that's what I think about that. I mean, someone just stole a bunch of stuff from the British Museum, and I'm not saying that other museums don't get stolen from, but it's like, maybe if it had been where it belonged, I feel like it's kind of a mess, but I also do think that things should be returned to the countries where they came from, especially if the country is asking for it. Like, if the country's like, whatever, you can keep it, fine, I don't care. But if the country's like, please give us back our artifacts, then yeah, you should probably give them back to them. And that's what I think about that. So, thank you so much for listening. Please like, subscribe. I am on Instagram, and I will be starting a new true crime podcast soon, which I'm excited about. So, those links will be provided down below. By the time this comes out, my true crime podcast will not have come out yet. But my writing podcast, Fighting for Writing, will be linked below, and you can listen to that as well. And then if you follow me on Instagram, once that gets started, once my true crime podcast comes out, you'll see it there. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Read The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. You don't have to get a fancy smancy version, but it is pretty. And thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.